A video to learn about China's mountains and terrain. If you look at China from above, we can see clearly. The terrain of our country is high in the west and low in the east, divided into 3 steppes. The dividing line of the first and second steppes is the Kunlun Mountains, Elgin Mountains, Kilian Mountains, Hengduan Mountains. The dividing line between the 2 and 3 steppes is the Great Khingan Mountains, Taihang Mountains, Wushan Zufeng Mountain Line. The first episode of the latter features the Zhang Plateau as the main body. The average altitude is more than 4 kilometers. The second steppe is distributed on the Inner Mongolia Plateau, Loess Plateau, Yunnan Guizhou Plateau, and several large basins. Average altitude 1,000 to 2 kilometers. The third episode has the lowest ladder terrain, including the Northeast Plain, main plain areas such as the North China Plain. So let's look at that. Look at the mountains and terrain of our country. The southernmost point of the first staircase is the Himalayas. The Himalayan mountains are approximately 2,450 kilometers in length. There are more than 110 peaks over 7 kilometers. The main peak, Mount Everest, is 8,848.86 meters above sea level. It's the highest mountain in the world. It is renowned for its supreme height, attracted countless brave men to conquer. To the east of the Zhejiang Plateau are the Hengduan Mountains. Among them, the main peak of Daksu Mountain, Ganga Mountain, is 7,556 meters above sea level. It is the highest peak in the Hengduan Mountains. Jinsha River, Langkang River, and New River, running in parallel for more than 170 kilometers among the mountains. It constitutes the unparalleled wonder of 3 parallel rivers. The Hengduan Mountains are the Bayan-Kara Mountains to the north, the mother river of the Chinese nation, the Yellow River. It is from the northern foothills of the Bayan-Kara Mountains, origin of the Yogu-Zhongli Basin, vast eastbound. Ultimately, it nourished the brilliant Chinese civilization. Further west is Tanggula Mountain. The main peak, Gala Dandong Snow Mountain, is 6,621 meters above sea level. It is the birthplace of the Yangtze River. It is also the Indian Ocean and water the Pacific watershed. Tanggula Mountain further south. Nyangking Tanggula Mountain is connected to Mount Gandus, the ancient land between them and the Himalayas. The ancient land of southern Tibet. The South Tibet Valley is the birthplace of the Zhejiang civilization. The land is fertile. It is the main agricultural area of Zhejiang, known as the Zhejiang Granary. Continue west. Pamir Plateau. This mountain range extends to the southeast. The Karakoram Mountains. The total length is about 800 kilometers, located in Tajikistan, China, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India border. Its main peak is K2, also known as K2, 8,611 meters above sea level. It's the second highest mountain in the world. Its summit mortality rate exceeds 20%. It is a climb on all peaks above 8 kilometers. The most difficult one. Not far off is the Kunlun Mountains. It starts in the west, on the Pamir Plateau in the east, across Xinjiang. Zhejiang extends to Qinghai. The total length is approximately 2,500 kilometers. It traverses the west of our country like a dragon. The Kunlun Mountains are known as the ancestors of all mountains, myths and legends handed down from ancient times. Many are related to the Kunlun Mountains, Kunlun Mountain Range, and Zhejiang Plateau. What is the area formed by the Kilian Mountains? It is one of the 4 major basins in our country. Kaidam Basin. It is also the highest altitude of the 4 major basins. Here, Jiamayan and other mineral reserves rank first in the country. Therefore, it has the reputation of cornucopia, many beautiful salt lakes, and the vast Gobi. Make it the most Mars-like place on Earth. North of the Kunlun Mountains, it is the largest basin in our country. The Tarim Basin, Taklamakan Desert in the basin. The largest desert in our country. On the north side of the Tarim Basin are the Tianshan Mountains. The Tianshan Mountains span China and Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan. Total length 2,500 kilometers. Divide Xinjiang into two parts, north and south. The snow melts here. It gave birth to more than 200 large and small rivers. It is the real-life infra of this vast land of Xinjiang. In the main vein of Tianjin Mountain and its branches, this area at the angle. It is the Ili River Valley in the south of the Yangtze River outside the Great Wall, or 6,000 kilometers away in the warm Atlantic Ocean. Moisture flows in from west to east, forced to lift on a windward slope, forming abundant precipitation. Make this the wettest region in Xinjiang. On the north side of Tianjin Mountain, it is the second largest basin in our country, the Zhongar Basin, Gurban-Tonggit Desert in the basin. It is the second largest desert in China. There is also a wealth of oil in the ground and natural gas resources, famous Karamay. The oil field is located in the western part of the basin. At the northernmost tip of Xinjiang are the Altai Mountains. Oblique span China, Kazakhstan, Russia, and Mongolia border. Stretching over 2,000 kilometers, Atlantic water vapor deepens along the Irtysh Valley, forming abundant windward slopes with precipitation. It is the second division island in Xinjiang besides the Ili Valley, the only river in our country that flows to the Arctic Ocean. This is where the Gorzys River originates. Continue east. In the inner Mongolia Plateau and Kilian, this narrow space between the mountains, the long area is the Hexi Corridor. It starts from Yamen Pass in the west, east to No Burning Ridge. The total length is more than 1,000 kilometers. The narrowest point is only a few kilometers. This was the choke point of the Silk Road, where Eastern and Western civilizations meet. It has left behind a great deal of cultural heritage. The north face of the Hexi Corridor is the Inner Mongolia Plateau. Is the second largest plateau in our country. The grassland area accounts for about 80% of the plateau area. The sky is high and the clouds are broad. Herds of cattle and sheep, an important ranch in our country. Continue east. Come to the northeast. Liaoyuan Plain, Songnan Plain, the northeast plain composed of the Sanjiang Plain. It is the largest plain in China. The land is fertile. It is one of only 3 black earth regions in the world. And the mountains that surround them are the Greater Khingan Mountains, Zhaoxinganling, the Changbai Mountains, and the Yanshan Mountains. Greater Khinganling is our country, the boundary between the second and third steppes. It is also the monsoon and non-monsoon areas of our country, the boundary between the inflow area and the outflow area. It is an important forestry base in our country, the largest temperate coniferous forest in our country. The neighboring Zhaoxingan Mountains. It is the watershed between Heilongjiang and Songhua River. It also has abundant forestry resources. Further south are the Changbai Mountains. From a series of northeast and southwest towards parallel mountains. North to Sanjiang Plain. South to Liaodong Peninsula. The famous Changbai Mountain Tianqi is located here. The average water depth is 204 meters, the deepest lake in our country. It is also the Songhua River of the 3 rivers of the Huzhou River and the Yalu River. The Yanshan Mountains in the northern part of the North China Plain. Shanxi is steep. Since ancient times, agricultural civilization and nomadic civilization have converged. Here are the best parts of the Great Wall of Ming Dynasty. Connected to the Yanshan Mountains are the Yinshan Mountains. It is located in central Inner Mongolia. In ancient times, but the Dragon City will fly in. Don't teach Humadu the verses of Yin Mountain. Suffice it to say that he is in the military. Defense matters. It's not far to the southwest. It is located at the junction of Ningxia and Inner Mongolia, Helen Mountain. There are officially 2 barriers, Yinshan and Helen Mountain. The Yellow River was formed for a negative set of nuclear planes. The Hedao Plain is divided into the Zitao Plain. The back set of plains and the full set of plains are 3 parts. The channels are vertical and horizontal here. It has the reputation of being stuffed with jiangnan, south of the Walnut Plain. This large area is the Loess Plateau. Ryu Mountain in the west of the Loess Plateau. East to Taihong Mountain. North to the Great Wall. South to Qinling Mountains. Area of about 300,000 square kilometers. It is the largest Loess landform in the world. Area on the Loess Plateau. There are two vertical mountains in the west, Vliang Mountain and Taihang Mountain. One of them is the Taihang Mountains. It is the difference between the second ladder and the third ladder in our country. The average elevation of the boundary is 1,500 meters. The highest peak, Mount Wutai, is 3,061 meters above sea level. Looking up at Taihang Mountain from the North China Plain on Donglu Road, thousands of meters of elevation difference. It makes people instantly understand what it means to rise from the ground. To the east, the North China Plain, one of the three plains of our country. Here, topographic platform. Most areas are less than 50 meters above sea level, the most populous plain in our country. In the eastern part of the North China Plain, Shandong Hills, one of the three major hills in our country. The highest peak, Mount Tai, is 1,545 meters above sea level. The hills of Shandong are islands. About 1.50 million years ago, the Yellow River flows through Sanmenxia, bringing light to the Loess Plateau, sediment carrying winter and summer. Only gradually did the West Lake continent and these islands connect. To the west of the county, this mountain range goes east-west. It is the Chinese Dragon Vein Kinling. Kinling is not only the southern region and the demarcation line of the northern region. It's subtropical, monsoon climate and temperate monsoon climate, humid and semi-humid areas. Yellow River System, the Yangtze River System, and many other geographical boundaries. It's single-handedly blocking the cold snap in the north and the water vapor in the south. Dao is a completely different north and south heaven. South of Kinling Mountain, the mountain range that runs alongside him is Daba Mountain. He is in Sichuan. The border between Shanxi and Hubei provinces extends for more than 500 kilometers. Same as Kinling, the southern Qing dynasty blocked the cold air in the north in winter. In Qin, this small area between Ridge and Daba Mountain, the Hanjiang Basin. Emperor Gaozu of Han is based here. Established the Han Dynasty, this land became an important part of Han culture. Birthplace. In this area on the south side of Daba Mountain, it's the Sichuan Basin. The terrain inside the basin is low and flat. It has been the granary of southwest China since ancient times. In the western part of the Sichuan Basin, there is a flatter and more fertile area. Chengdu Plain. After Li Bin and his son built Dujiangyan in the Qin Dynasty, April's Ming River tames the bloodline of irrigated farmland. Since then, Shuan Kongren in Chengdu Plain. Fertile field. Become a stable granary for the land of abundance. On the south side of the Sichuan Yunnan-Guizhou Plateau, the altitude is between 400 and 3,500 meters. Yunnan-Guizhou Plateau is one of the 4 major plateaus in China. This is a typical karst landscape. Caverns, underground rivers all over. It is also the most ethnic minority-rich area in our country. In the eastern part of the Sichuan Basin are the Wushan Mountains, the second rung of our country, and the third rung. This is where the Yangtze River exposes the mountain ladder. In the mountains, splitting out the magnificent 3 gorges of the Yangtze River. Further south is the Wuling Mountains. It is trapped in the northwest of Hunan Province and northeast Guizhou Province. The Yunnan-Guizhou Plateau extends eastward, the transition zone to the Dongting Lake Plain. This is also a rare quartz in the world. Sandstone maple forest landform, the concentrated distribution area of Zhangjiaji landform. Zhangjiaji in the core area, Wulingyuan scenic area. It was listed by UNESCO in 1992. World Natural Heritage List. South of the Wuling Mountains, the mountain range almost parallel to him is Snow Peak Mountain, from northeast to southwest. The total length is about 350 kilometers. The main peak, Subaiting, is 1,934 meters above sea level. Also, our country, the dividing line between the second and third rungs. Go northbound along Zhufingshan East Road. Entered the middle and lower reaches of the Yangtze River. Yichang from the 8th west of the plain. East to Changjiang Road Haikou. It's about 1,000 kilometers from east to west. The total area is 200,000 square kilometers, mainly composed of Jianghan Plain, Dongting Lake Plain, Poyang Lake Plain, Wansu Yanjiang Plain, Lixia River Plain, and the Yangtze River Delta Plain and other 6 plains. The terrain is low and flat. River network. It has been a land of fish and rice since ancient times. It is also an important industrial base in China. Surface transportation. Very developed. South of the Yangtze River. This vast area east of Zufang Mountain. This is the southeast hill of the first of the 3 hills in our country. From Jiangnan Hills. The hills of Zhejiang and Guangdong are composed of 3 parts. Is the most widely distributed and densely distributed in our country by land area. It's full of mountains and rivers. The Luoxio Mountains stand tall in Hunan, Jiangxi border. The total length is about 300 kilometers, including Wugong Mountain, Wanyang Mountain, Zhuguangshan, etc. Among them, Wugong Mountain, with 100,000 acres of meadows stretching over the peaks of the mountain. Civilization is evergreen. Sea of clouds surging, known as the grassland in the clouds. It is a famous hiking mecca in the south. Further north is Hunan, Jiangxi, Mulianju Mountains in the border region of Hubei Province. Lushan Mountain as we know it, just to the east of Shogun. Lushan Mountain is famous all over the world for its majesty. It has the reputation of Kuang Confucianism and its show. It's a famous summer resort. Crossed the Yangtze River. Entered the Dabi Mountains. Liberation War. Liu Deng's army jumped thousands of miles into the Dabi Mountains, unveiled the prelude to a national strategic offensive. Wangshan Mountains in southern Anhui, known as the most amazing mountain in the world. It is a world natural and cultural heritage. With its pine stone, Yunhai Hot Spring, the 5 wonders of winter snow. There are 5 mountains returning without looking at the mountains. The return of Wangshan does not look at the reputation of the moon. Southeast of Wangshan Mountain. It's the Thermi Hills in the southeast hills. He traveled through Zhejiang, most areas of Fujian-Liang Province. The mountain is dense here. Terrain fragmentation. The famous Wuyi Mountains are located here. This is a typical Dangsha landform. Bishuiden Mountain. Beautiful scenery. It is also the most biodiverse in the southeast of our country. One of the first-class areas. Across the sea is a tall mountain range. Taiwan Mountains. The Taiwan Mountains run through the Taiwan Islands in the northeast and southwest. There are more than 200 peaks over 3 kilometers above sea level. The highest peak and mountain elevation are 3,952 meters. It is the highest peak in eastern China. The mountains are majestic. Sunrise Cloud Sea. Magnificent. The city and county came to the north of Liangguang. This mountain range is the South Ridge, Yuyuqing Ridge, Dupangling Mengculing, Jishenling Dialing, and other 5-ridge composition. The highest peak is Mauer Mountain in Yukingling, 2,142 meters above sea level. It is the watershed between the Yangtze River and the Pearl River system. At the same time, it also blocked the cold air travel from the north to the south. On the south side of the Nanling Mountains are the Liangguang Hills, covering Guangdong Province and most of the Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region. The eastern part is dominated by granite hills. The mountain is round. The west is a typical karst landscape. Finglin Karst Cave, underground river. The famous Guilin landscape in Guangzhou is located here. Cross Changzhou straight from the hills of Liangguang to the south. Entered Hainan. The towering Wuji Mountain stands among them. The main peak is 1,867 meters above sea level. Due to the juxtaposition named after the 5 fingers. Here is the best preserved tropical rainforest in China. One is also Wangquan River, Chenghua River, and other river sources. From the Himalayas on top of the world, to the beautiful Guilin landscape. From the towering Qinling Mountains that separate the north and the south to the wonders of Wangshan. These crisscrossing mountains. Together, they form the solid skeleton of the Chinese land.